Shalom. Right before I get started, I'm going to give all the glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Kakodash. Double honors unto my apostles and elders, a great millstone. Peace and safety to all the sincere Akim, the Sahih preaching this word of truth, and in all sincerity. Shalom. All right. Shalom to all the sincere sisters as well that are out there. It's Friday. August the 11th, 2023. Another morning rant. And, like I said, these are just quick hits. Thoughts of things that I may have seen between yesterday and the end of the last video and this morning in the meditation on the ride to work. And, the message is still, the message comes off repetitive but it's still powerful, So, like I said, I don't have anything necessarily like an exact thing I want to speak on unless the Spirit hit me. But I saw a article or tweet from an article dealing with the music industry and the fact that the industry is having a hard time breaking artists. Like they're struggling. Like they're letting it be known that they're struggling with breaking artists. See, it used to be a thing, depending on how old you are. You had a position in record labels called A&Rs, right? And A&Rs were there part of the artist development. That used to be a major portion. So they may see talent, and you might not find out about that talent for another year or two, while they're behind the scenes prepping the person, fine-tuning certain things, throwing them into scenarios to get them ready for whatever situation, interviews, the whole nine, That's not the case no more. So they're struggling now. And that's biblical prophecy. The Lord said that he would bring the daughters of music low. Okay? Like I said, I kind of feel like the news when I do these in the morning, because even in the background, I like to listen. Like I said, I listen to a lot of news. What else? I saw a video a few days ago dealing with, this one guy. I know that I wanted to speak on. I'm going to get to it. It just came back to me. He asked, would you put a CIHIP, it's early, forgive me, CHIP, a CHIP, right, in your hand to receive a $2,000 a month allowance or universal base income? And the truth of the matter is, there's no need for bribery with it. The mass majority of people are going to take it. Thus saith the Lord. Most people are going to take the RFID CHIP because people are a victim of herd thinking. But the scriptures tell us what? Follow not a multitude to do evil. So, in most cases, why would you? There's no, if you should know who you are to know not to follow after these goddamn heathens and devils and what they got going on. Okay. Now that's gonna bring me to my point. It just came back to my head. I remember what I was meditating on and I thought I was thinking about. This is probably the time right now. And I'm just throwing this out there. You don't got to do it. You don't got to just, fear-mongering. He's full of shit. You don't got to listen. It's just spiritual advice, right? Scriptures say, go thou the way of the ant. That's in the book of Proverbs. When you think about ants, ants work. The Lord, throughout the scriptures, the men of the Lord that wrote different books, different proverbs, different points of wisdom, they used a lot of examples of animals to metaphorically, like I said, go thou the way of the ant. Now, when you study ants do a lot of preparation. They prepare for different seasons. Like I said, I always speak on this moment. Animals, when you watch them, they're not just stuck on frolicking and playing. There's a season to mate. There's a time to mate. I'm not saying that animals don't have sex. I'm not saying that, but in a sense, there's a season where it's like, this is where we got to procreate. This is when we got to get ready for the winter. This is when we got to get ready for so on and so forth. So this is just my advice spiritually to the sincere men and women that are listening. This is probably the time, if you've ever going to do it, you might want to, not even on it's to the point where what I'm saying doesn't just apply to if you just want to be this is not just for preppers, okay? This is just regular life shit I'm talking about right now too. This might be with the time that next time you go to the grocery store, you got a few extra dollars or something, you might want to buy a nice sized bag of rice. 10 pounds, 15 pounds, 20, 30 pound bag of rice. What the fuck? This guy look crazy. Whatever size you can afford and store it. That's what you should do. That's just one element, just the rice. I repeat, this is not about leaning on faith or having faith on these items. Scriptures say that my servant shall eat. So you should have faith and pray for faith to believe that the Lord's going to provide and take care of you. But when you read about our forefather Joseph, the Lord gave Joseph a vision when he was in Egypt, right? Joseph being the father of Ephraim and Manasseh. He gave him a vision of a famine coming through Egypt. And Joseph told that dream, and Pharaoh, making a long story short, took heed to the word, right? Took heed to it, made sure to let them know what was going on or what could happen, and they listened, and they survived that famine. Okay, they survived it. Joseph wasn't just on some, famine's coming, Lord gonna provide, don't, kick your feet up, don't worry about it. No, they prepared. And that's what made him extremely famous and brought great mercy and respect and reverence towards Joseph and his brothers and his father, Jacob, when they came down because of that famine. So, scriptures throughout the Holy Scriptures, there's always a mentioning of a famine. These are the signs when you shall know that I'm returning. Famines, etc., 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 right? With that understanding, there is going to be extreme famine here. We're already witnessing it. And I saw a video probably early at this point. It was, one of those videos I was watching in the morning while I was getting dressed, like early type joint. And I'm pretty sure you brothers, I can't remember the page, but you've probably seen the video. If you're into the truth and conspiracy, I'm pretty sure you know this channel. But what caught my attention was, of course, it was like 144,000 views on it. And I was like, oh shit. So I was like, see, that's the spirit. So in the video, the guy's breaking down items that you might want to buy and have because of shortages that are going to happen. And the one was rice. There was 15 other items. I mean, champagne, chocolate chips, coffee. It was a lot of things, But that main one that I was saying was rice. You know, this might be the time that you, like I say, I'm not saying to be on no doomsday prepper and you got 800 pounds of rice. You got a ton of rice in your fucking shed. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is it might not hurt. See, it's funny how there's a video, if you go on TikTok or any social media, India just placed a ban on global exports of rice. That's why part of this is motivated as well, because this ban just occurred a few days ago. I believe the 29th of July. So India is responsible for 40% of the world's rice supply. 40%. India supplies rice to about 3 billion people, they say. And they're no longer sending exports here or globally. Now, here's the kicker. I bet you money that India will still give out exports to brick nations. You could bet your money on that. Why? BRICS: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South America. But it's irrelevant to who it is, because you know what? The truth of the matter is that there are now dozens of countries that are now a part of BRICS. Okay? So those countries may still get rice packages. Not America. Remember, not too long ago, America, who is the largest corn? America is the largest corn producer. And Russia stopped buying America corn. I think China did as well. So what we're witnessing is the supply chain further break down to the point that, and another term to say that it's being, another point of breakdown is globalization. Okay? That term is kind of obsolete at this point. America has been benefiting and using these other nations to its own benefit. These other countries don't benefit from having these beast. And when I say beast, of course, I look at the so-called white man as a beast, but the scriptures speak called the conglomerate of these European nations, the beast. When you read in the book of Revelation about the beast, that is in the 1 hour with the beast, that's this conglomerate of Edomite nations. That's why France is going through it right now. Okay, America. Okay, see, not Russia. Russia's giving the beast hell, right? But you get what I'm saying? The 7 heads. Russia's not part of that. All right, that's a slip of the tongue. All right. What do you think is going to happen? This is basic economics 101, right? Basic economics. You have 2 terms that everybody that's of a certain age and certain knowledge should just have a basic understanding of, right? Supply and demand. So I'm going to give you an idea of both sides, right? I'm going to give you something. Let's just say there are a pair of exclusive limited Jordans that are coming out this fall, right? So there's only 200 pairs, right? There's only 200 pairs. There's only 1,000, or let's just say there's a 500 pairs worldwide, right? So that is a limit on the supply. Now here's the kicker: if the demand is high, right? The supply is low and the demand's high, you could charge a higher price. So even if the retail is $100, If the demand is higher than the supply and people want them, then people will be willing to pay maybe $300, $500, $1,000. It just all varies, right? Now let's do the flip of that. Let's just say the supply is high and the demand's low. That's where you get into the stores and you're like, oh, like the pink sauce lady. Remember the lady that created the pink sauce that went viral on the internet, on TikTok a while back? The demand for it fell. No shade to her. I don't know her. I doubt she'll ever see this anyway, but it's not about the shade. It's just an example. The demand was lower than the supply. The supply was high, the demand was low. Creates a zone where you now have to put things on sale. You understand? That's where sales come into play. So what is going to happen in America is the supply, like I said, is going to be low. And the demand is going to be high. Because why? We all need food, right? Like the person in the video I was watching. Rice is one of the biggest staples of dishes around the world. You understand how big rice is? Think about all the dishes that you eat from maybe other ethnic cultures. Indian food. Okay? Spanish food. Okay? Chinese food, Japanese food, shrimp, chicken fried rice, sides of rice, southern food. Rice is huge, okay? So understand that and so many other things, the supply is going to drop and the demand is going to still be higher, if not higher, once people realize that there is a shortage. All right. Once people realize that, oh my God, there's a shortage of rice. That's going to put it in people's minds of that I need to go get more rice, creating more of a demand, more of a shortage of supply. So I'm going to close here in a second, but I just wanted to stay in the spirit. If you're listening to this, you might want to take heed to what is going on. And you might want to throw a bag of rice in your pantry. You might want to get a few bags of dry beans. You might want to get a few non-perishable goods. Me and my rib, the storm, the weather, like even right now, I'm sitting right here, and let's see. Turn the camera around. Even right now, I'm North Georgia area, and you can see the storms. It's been really rough. You can't really see the lightning. Let's see if it shoots lightning. If not, it is what it is. The weather been crazy here. People's power be going out. So, with that understanding, and I'm going to close up here. The other night, my power went out. Now, the Lord had mercy on my household and all the brothers' households. We were good when the storm came through. My power went out in the middle of the night, but it came right back on. I have a ring, and people, and it was people whose power was out for over 24 hours, But my point was, as I said in my rib, it was dark and so on and so forth. And I said, we got to be mindful of just such scenario as such. Power might go out in the middle of the night. I was like, you know what? I need to stop playing with these flashlights. I got flashlights. I need to put them where they need to be at. So I know, reach into this drawer is a flashlight here. I was telling my rib, I said, you might want to figure out, and I said this to y'all, you might want to put your rib, if you have one, or if you're a rib and you're listening, you might want to do this. If you're a woman and you're listening, you might want to, this is a great time to make cheap candles. See, this is the time where you got to go back to the roots of what people were on. The roots of our people, or people in general, was not about doing dances on TikTok and shit like that, making TikTok videos. You know, there's certain levels of equipment and things that we need to survive that is important to have. Now, I'm not saying that you're that the Lord will punish you if you don't have these things or whatever the case may be. That's not necessarily true either. The Lord is a merciful power. You know, Israelites didn't have candles in fucking uh, Egypt when they were fled into the wilderness. Okay, the Lord was their shadow during the day and a pillar of fire at night. So, but still, just getting some soy wax candles and melting it down and filling up some old mason jars that you got laying around could very well help you in that day. So I was saying, like, you might want to prepare. This is the time to really take serious these things, man. This isn't the time that, like, or don't. That's, like I said, it's your prerogative. It's your life. It's your household. This is just an opinionated video. That's why I said a lot of the things the Apostle Paul gave was also opinionated based upon what he saw. But it's not. I'm not saying that this is a law. But what I am saying is you don't want to be a tempter of the Lord. Like, oh, the Lord God, that's tempting. You do everything in your power to prepare through the Spirit. Think about the power going off. Think about when food prices shoot up. Think about when we can't go in these grocery stores. Like I said, this is not being some goddamn super doomsday prepper, but at the same time, you might want to have enough stuff around so you don't feel the stress of having to go into, because if your ass got to go in one of these grocery stores in that day, like me and a brother was saying, it's a wrap. You're going to find yourself in a fucked up predicament if you got to go into one of these grocery stores and when all hell is break loose. Okay? Hey, so you know what? I'm going to close up here. I just wanted to share those thoughts of, and I might drop the link to the video of the food items that are going to skyrocket. And especially with this BRICS gold currency over the next several months taking root in the earth, it's going to make our dollar even worth less. You see? So you can't just wait. Oh no! Now I better go get me an axe. No, I better go get me some batteries. You should be having these things around. You may not have everything, but God damn it, a few things will help. All right. Hey, so with that, I want to close up. I want to give all the glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors unto my apostles and elders, great millstone. Shalom.